Hello everyone, this is Kathleen. Could you use the formula for making a small collage embellishment to decorate the corners or the top of one of those blank journal pages? That's what I'm sharing today, a kind of recipe for choosing mixed media elements and step-by-step creating a beautiful little collage to use in those blank areas that need just a little something. So here we go. I am at that stage again in my pansies journal where I was a few days ago, where I've got these pages that are blank and there's 4 in a row again, and it just needs something. So this is the page that I am going to demonstrate today, but let me just show you what we need first of all. So you know what you like to use for collage. I have a bunch of little pieces, but the cue here today is that it needs to be kind of small because I don't want to take up the whole page. I just want to put a little embellishment on there because these are writing pages and I don't want to take up valuable real estate. So everything kind of needs to be on the small side. And so my favorite things to use in collage are texture stuff, flat things, torn paper, labels, you know, inks and paints and chalks and yeah, just, you know, stencils and stamps, those kinds of things. So those are the kind of things that you need to kind of gather up to have to choose from. And so the formula is a flat foundation layer plus 1 and then plus 1 more, so that there's three things. If you want to go a little fancier, you can make 5 layers and do plus 2 more on the end. So yeah, let's demonstrate first of all the formula. So I'll put my choices over here. So I have completed on these index cards, I've completed step 1. So the foundation layer needs to be flat. So these are things that are not going to add bulk in the beginning. So it can be the chalks. So I've done a little chalk layer here. It can be paints. This is just some cheap watercolors that I smeared on there. This is acrylic paint that I've dabbed on there and smeared with my finger. It can be like ink with a stencil, which I've done in this example, or it can just be plain torn paper. I like both just scraps of torn paper or tissue paper, or, you know, snippets of napkin, whatever is flat. One of my favorite things is just to use like the music paper or dictionary page. So those are some choices. So I have these examples of step 1. So now let me show you what I've done with step 2. The plus 1 layer can be flat, so any of the other suggestions can be used in this layer as well, or you can add more textured kinds of things. So you can use a stamp, acrylic paint again, a sticker, a small image, magazine piece, stencil and ink, fabric, label, washi tape or ribbon, fibers like messy thread or cheesecloth or the veg net. What's a veg net, you say? I'll show you. This is a vegetable net. Came off of the potato sack. This is the vegetable net. It came off of the cantaloupe bag. So things like that. That's what I'm talking about. So I will put a list down in the description box of my suggestions, and it's only my suggestions. Use your imagination. Come up with whatever you like. But I will make a list of the formula and the suggestions for each step. So here's the first step. The foundation is some chalks, and then I've decided to use a ticket on the next layer. So this is the smooshed watercolor ink, and I've just used a textured stamp on this one. This is the smeared acrylic paint, and I've just used a sticker for the next layer. this is some stenciling, and I've just used some tissue paper. And finally, this is just some flat torn paper here, and I have on this one just used some smeared acrylic paint. So these first couple layers, they can kind of go back and forth. You just want the foundation layer and then the plus one. Okay, now the plus one more is the same thing, but now you can kind of start adding some other textured things, like I say fabric, or another sticker, a little label, lace. I realize you can't see this, a piece of washi tape. You can go for some threads, some messy thread, or again, this is some veg net from, I think this was onions. And then you can even start getting in this last layer some bumpy items like jewels, sequins, beads, that kind of thing. Okay, so let me just take you through quickly this last layer on each of these. So I think on this one, I'm going to add a postage stamp. Okay, so now I just take that postage stamp and put that on there, and there's my third. Okay, so there's my little collage. Now this one, I think I'm just going to use a sticker. So I'm just going to take this sticker and put that here. Okay, then that completes that one. And this one, I think I'm going to use this piece because I want this to be a smaller layer. There we go. Okay, I like that. Yeah. Okay, and then this one, I am just going to use this little stamp. It's a little saver, kind of a reward stamp, like a green stamp, only it's not green. And I'm just going to put that on there. Well, I don't think it's on there straight. That's what I get for being on camera. And then this final one, oh, I think I'm just going to use this lace. And I'm just going to put a little smear of this. Okay. All right. So that's as simple as that is, right? If you like this video, if it's helpful so far, would you consider hitting the like button? Thanks so much for that. It's a small action, but it really helps my channel. Thank you. So there are endless ways to combine these collage elements, but your little collage will look best if you use some finishing details as the top layer. So I like the number 3, but you don't always have to follow the rules. And in this case, I think one more little layer will really help. The concept of layers, it's the pyramid kind of, from large to small as it comes up, the background to the detail. And so I have a video that kind of talks about this, teaches about this. It's called Creating Depth, something like that, in your collages. So I will link that below if you're interested in more of an explanation on it. But some of the elements in this list of stuff, or in this pile of stuff, kind of are better as a finishing kind of top layer, a top finishing touch. So let me show you. So things like paint splatter can really help that way. Okay, so if you have like a text stamp or this crosshatch stamp, that can be really it can just add a little kind of a final touch to that collage. Just a little bit of something extra on top. Paint splatter does the same thing, but let's just put some of this kind of here as well. You see what I mean? Okay, let's do some paint. Oh, another way to do an easy paint splatter is to either use a sponge. If you don't want to like splatter paint, let me show you an easy thing to do. You can, here we'll put, no, I think we'll go with this color. Let me put just a little bit out and water it down. And then I'm just going to use this little sponge and then you can just kind of dab it on there, kind of like that. Okay, so that kind of helps as well. Or you can do the same thing. I think I want green on this one. So you can just put a little bit of paint and get the water. Make that more of a puddle. I think we need even a little more water. Yep. Okay, now let me move all of these out of the way. And then you can just spray that on there. Okay. Yep, I like it. I just think paint splatter is just one of my favorite things to do as kind of a final layer. All right, and then so here's our final ones. So just so that you know that I can do this in a real journal. Yep, I can. Let me, I wanted to give you a final look at those, but let me bring my journal over and we'll do one quick. Okay. All right, I want to put something right here, and I think what I want to do is use some yellow, because yellow is my kind of one of the little accent colors in this journal. So I just have some on my finger. I'm just gonna pounce it off a little, and then I'm just gonna smear that right here in the corner. And I want some kind of smeared parts, and I want some that are a little more, clean my hands. Okay, wipe that up. Okay, so now that's gonna need to be dried. That's good. Okay, now I'm gonna take this color and put a texture stamp kind of on that, and that's gonna kind of mimic this other kind of what's going on here in the back. Okay. And I think that I am going to take some tissue. I like the way that crinkle kind of turned out. I wish I had some more of that pink polka dot. They do somewhere, but not handy. Okay, so let me put the glue on. And then just kind of smash that down a little. And then finally, this is going to be 5 layers. I'm going to put this die cut here. Okay, now I could do paint splatter. In fact, since I've got this on my brush, maybe we'll do that. There we go. That looks good. You know, another thing that would be cute, I thought about putting some little pearls in a row on there, but I kind of like that. So let me show you how that looks close up. Yep, I like it. And it leaves, you know, plenty of room still to write, but gives just, you know, just a little bit of something, you know, to dress up that blank page. Thanks so much for being with me, and let me know in the comments if you have a favorite way to embellish these little spots in your journals that seem too plain. Thanks again for your time. Always appreciate it, and we'll see you again.